Okay. Okay, guys, welcome to our Tuesday team call. Tonight, we're just going to have a very brief call talking about leader in action. So this is what is getting me to top achievers. I just finished at number 9 globally out of the whole entire company all over the world where we are in 20 some countries. And I did this by plugging into the leader in action formula. So I want to teach you guys how you can build your business using this formula. Even if it does not get you to a trip or something like that, I promise you this will build your business. So get out a pencil and paper and make sure you're ready to write down some notes, because this is going to, sorry, I had to mute some people. This is going to get you guys focused. So number 1, why the leader in action has helped so much. Honestly, it really helps you treat this like you're a CEO of a business that you own, rather than I'm just kind of casually doing this and sporadically fitting it in when I can. You still could fit it in when you can, but it gives you focused attention. So it gives you exactly what to focus on, and it helps you keep track of your activities. Have you ever had like a month that was great, but you're like, I have no idea who I enrolled. I don't know how many people I enrolled. I'm not sure who started when, and you're just all over the place? Because I have, definitely. And this really helps keep me on top of my business and on top of my game. So that's number 1. Number 2 is these activities have been selected by Isagenix for their leader in action because they do a ton of research on what grows people's businesses and what gets them to the leadership level. It used to be called Millionaire in Action. Up until a couple years ago, this was called Millionaire in Action because these were the things that people had to do in order to hit millionaire status. They changed it to leader in action, but it's basically giving you those steps. So I think if you feel a little bit like you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, you're really not sure, how to be organized or what you're doing, this is going to help you. And I would suggest if you are like to write things, getting a big whiteboard with a calendar. You can also get a plain whiteboard where you can make columns, or you can just have a binder and you can print out the Leader in Action worksheet. If you have heard of the Leader in Action worksheet, please post in the chat. If you have heard of it and actually have been using it, let us know. This is a worksheet that literally will map out every week and the things that you need to get done each week, and then you total it up to the month. Okay, so the premise of the whole Leader in Action plan, you guys, is earning points. And every month at the end, you're going to tally your points. I'm going to tell you how to earn points in a second. But you tally your points. And the way that you tally your points is each column of activity that you're supposed to be doing is multiplied. And if you multiply anything by 0, what do you get? 0. So the point is you don't want 0. You don't want to be at a 0 in any column. If you do, you have 0 points for that month. Now, I will tell you, I ended up at number 9, and I have had months with a 0. So I just want you to know it's very hard to have 12 months where you're earning points, because I'll explain why in a second so you guys understand. But I do want you to understand that the point is that you want to try to earn in every column and not get a 0. So let's go over what you have to do. Number 1, currently the Leader in Action was just switched for managers and above. It used to only be executives. It's for managers and above for this grand adventure contest. However, I don't care if you're just starting, you could still plug into these things because it's going to set you up for success, and you will rank advanced by just doing these things, okay? So even if you feel like, oh, I can't do it, I'm not a manager yet. No, you can do this still. Now, for those people who just hit manager, you will start earning points now for the Grand Adventure contest, which is to the Grand Cayman, okay? They do these trips just as to incentivize you, but the Leader in Action, whether you get a trip or not, is really telling that you're going to be growing your business, which is what? Growing your income, and that's more important than the trips anyway. The trips are just the icing on the cake. So number 1, what you have to do? You have to continue to stay at your rank or grow your rank. So no matter where you are, even if you're just a new associate right now, the first rank is consultant. I'll review this really quickly because I know we have a lot of new people. Consultant is when you are an associate, but you enroll one person on your left team and one new person on your right team that you personally enroll. That would be a consultant. The next step is manager. Now, ideally, in a perfect world, those 2 people would enroll 2 people. Does that always happen? No. It sometimes might take you guys 10 people before you have 1 person that wants to share. It does not mean you are doing anything wrong. And this, I really want to make sure I'm getting this clear, because I think sometimes people make it sound so easy and that there's got to be something wrong with what you're doing because nobody wants to share. I will give you guys tips on how to share if we have time at the end. But even that, I could say the same thing to 10 different people and only have 1 person lit up with excitement. Because at the end of the day, you guys, it has to be up to them. They have to have the vision. They have to see it. I've had people that didn't see it in the beginning and then they decided to do it. You are doing nothing wrong, usually. We can tweak some things of how you do it, but I sometimes think that you just can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, honestly. So get it out of your head that you're a hot mess doing something wrong, because it's not true. Not true at all. 85% of our company are product users only, okay? I have friends that are in other network marketing businesses that are super simple. It's like they're selling lipstick. It's so easy. There's no coaching. There's nothing. They still don't create business builders because some people just don't want to do it. And it's okay, guys. So that's number 1. Don't stress about it. You're fine. But in a perfect world, if those 2 people created 2 or customers, then you would be manager. So now you have 2 consultants. That's a manager. They can be on either side. It can be one on the left, one on the right, or they can both be on the same side. It doesn't matter. That would get you to manager. Then director is a total of 6 consultants, so 6 people who shared with 2 people. And then finally, executive is the tricky one, because executive, you do need to have even sides. So you need to have 5 personally enrolled consultants on your left and 5 on your right. So the first thing that you need to focus on is getting to your rank, staying there, or going up. So in other words, you don't want to get to a rank and drop. That's the first goal. So every month, see what your rank is and what's your goal going to be. If you're an associate, your goal should be getting to consultant. The next month, if you're a consultant, your goal should be getting to manager. Guess what? If on the 3rd month you're still at consultant, then that's your goal still, to get to manager, guys. You can grow at your own pace. That's another thing, okay? You don't need to compare. Everybody has a different why, driving force, all kinds of things. The second column or thing that you want to put in your notebook or your whiteboard or whatever you want to record is to rank advance. Well, let me actually back up. Sorry. I saw someone pop up. I need to mute. The second one after staying at your rank is enrollments. So this is what you guys are doing, right? You're already out there recruiting. You're already helping people get started. Now, normally it was always up to 5 enrollments. So if you had 6, it would only count 5 points.
Some people said, have a legitimate question, you know.
Okay, sorry, I had to mute somebody. Okay, so 5 used to be the maximum points you can get. Okay, at this time, for the Grand Adventure Challenge, they are actually counting up to 10 enrollments in a month, which is a lot. To be honest with you, I liked 5 better because I feel like it's manageable. But now you could say 10 would count and you're trying to get 10, it's a lot of people to manage. I would say, obviously the goal is not to have 0. So every month you set your goal that works for you guys. I still like 5, 5 gets you the free vitamins every month, 5 enrollments. And here's something that's super important for you guys to understand. The 5 enrollments or 10 or whatever you want to go for, they just need to enroll with 100 BV. So that's a question people ask a lot. It doesn't matter what they enroll with. They can enroll with 4 shakes. They can enroll with a 30-day system, a value pack. You're still going to get that counted as an enrollment. 100 BV. However, if you enroll somebody with 75 BV, that enrollment is not counting towards your leader in action. Okay? So that's the second one, how many enrollments you get. Any questions so far? You guys get that? Okay. The next column is how many personally enrolled rank advancements. Now this one can be tricky, and this one was hard for me for a while. That means that out of the people I enrolled or anybody in my whole team, who am I helping rank advance? Whether it's to consultant, manager, director, executive, and beyond, you get points for that. And the points grow the higher the rank grows. Every month you should have a goal to create at least 1 new consultant. That is a great goal for starting out. So when you're just starting out, your goal is for you personally to climb up the ranks Enroll whatever number you're comfortable with. I say 5 because that's what a lot of the millionaires taught when I first started. 5 a month is key, just because of the way people drop off. That 5 a month is going to keep you steady. Also, 5 gets you the free vitamins. So I like 5. But again, if you want to go up to 10 this time, or if you want to start with like 2 a month, wherever you're at. And then rank advancing at least one person. So you're helping at least one person earn some income with this. Okay? And then the last one is the trickiest. So I'm saving that one for last. And that is your cycles, your benchmark, and how far above that you are. So that sounds probably really weird to you guys, so I'm going to explain. Let's say your month, last month, you totaled 3 cycles was your average for the month. Okay, I'm just using easy numbers right now. So say 3 cycles was your average for the month. You need to increase your average. If you don't, it will be a 0 points. But let's say you increase by 1. You got above and your average was 4 the next month. That's 1. Then you get 1 point for that column. If you went up to 6, then you went from 3 to 6, that's 3 points. Now, this can get people as they start to grow to a level that they're cycling so high. Like, it's getting harder for me to beat myself every month because you cycle so much, your benchmark grows. Now you got to beat that benchmark every month. Okay. When you're starting out, I love that you guys can plug into this, because how awesome is it to keep track of where you're at and to every month have a goal just to improve, even if it's by 1. But you're so on top of it and you're recording it. And if you have that drive in you that you will not get a 0, then you are going to be so plugged into your business for the whole month. And you're recording each week where you're at. And it just kind of keeps you really focused on what it takes to continue to grow your income. And those are the parts of the Leader in Action formula. So before we end to jump on Sean's call, for those who want to jump on, we have about 10 minutes. Does anybody have a question of something I said that might not make sense? The other thing I do want to tell you guys is in your back office, there is a tab on top. You guys should, when I started, by the way, all I did was look in my back office and like watch everything and just like jump into it. So I'm like, if you're not in your back office on your free time, you should be, because that's going to really help. But there's a contest and promotions tab. They didn't really have this when I first started. So there's a lot of contests and promotions. And what you could do is look at the Leader in Action, and you'll see the worksheet for it. And you'll see the worksheet actually explains everything I just said. But sometimes reading it is harder than if somebody explained it to you. So that's why I wanted to explain it. The other things about the contests and promotions is there might be something in there that you want to work toward. There might be a good contest in there for you right where you are in your business right now, and with your people on your team. So you want to make sure you know all the contests and promotions so you can plug people into them. Okay? So does anybody have questions about what I just said? You can write it in the chat, or you can just unmute. Or does everybody get that? Good. Everybody understands that? Okay. Yes. So the Leader in Action form, Nazareth, is available. So if you click on your back office where it says Contests and Promotions and you click Leader in Action, there's actually a couple tabs, and one says Leader in Action Worksheet. It's actually a printable. You can print it and make copies so you have one every month, and you could put it in a binder. Okay. And I know a lot of people do that. Also, if you have an office that you work from home or somewhere, like you can do it on a whiteboard, however you want to keep track. But that worksheet is going to exactly tell you what I just said, the things that you need to do and the weeks. And then you can keep track every week. And then at the end of the month, you tally it on the bottom and you multiply your points out and you see where you're at. And again, you just don't want to have a 0. If you don't have a 0, you're going to grow. Again, I've had 0s the last 12 months. I've had 0s. A few months were 0s. So you can, it happens, but that's your goal. That's your long-term goal. That was a good question. Yes, print it out. And I think a binder, if you're more of I like to see my goals and kind of checklist and everything. Yes. So the trick is to not have any column at 0, because when you multiply, even if you have a fantastic, which actually I will be honest with you, we have this really sweet, amazing couple that we saw at New Year Kickoff. They were like number 12 on the New Year Kickoff poster, but they had dropped. And part of the reason they actually didn't get into the top achievers, and I felt so bad because they were pretty high up for a while, but they just had too many months with 0. And what really kind of sucked for them is one month they actually had a personally enrolled director, which is not easy to do, right? A person you enroll that hits director is not easy. And that's a lot of points. But that same month, they also never grew their cycles. Their cycles went backwards. So they had a 0 in that column, which everything got a 0. So strategically, you kind of want to, if you know you're going to help somebody be rank advanced, you just don't want to get 0s in anything else, right? Because that's kind of like a tough one. I think, the enrollments, obviously, for most people right now, when they start out, that's up to us. Like the enrollments kind of feel like that's up to me, how many people I'm talking to. The cycle growth it depends, that's going to be one that you just got to push for. But the rank advancing your team, that's just having those right people that want to share. So that could sometimes get people stuck. But yeah, that's basically your leader in action formula, guys. And I mean, it's really helped me, not only obviously that I was so excited about the trip, but it made me focus on what needed to be focused on. And it made me like on top of my people, right? Because when I'm enrolling people, I'm tracking who I'm enrolling, and then I'm focusing on who can I help get paid. Now, did every single person I enroll, I will be honest, most people are not saying no way. I'll be honest. And we can do this next week if it'll help, how I talk to people about the opportunity. But most people don't say, no way, I'm not interested at all. They actually are like, oh, well, that does sound interesting. I'll definitely keep that in mind. But I want to get results first. How many people have heard, I want to get results first before I share? That's why I really, really believe that this has to be a results program, because some people want to see their results first before they share. So that's number one, is that, I do tell people and they seem open. Does everybody go out and find people and share it? No. I give people, here, you post this on Facebook. Does everybody do it? No. Here's a great text message to send to 10 people. Does everybody do it? No. I can't force past my guidance, and you guys can't either. If you're guiding them and you're sharing the vision and you're telling them and you're dripping on them, it's up to them. Just last bit of just advice, and then we'll log off so we can jump on Sean's call, is if you find that you're constantly, getting people enrolled, and then you're trying to cast the vision and they're just not seeing it, they're not interested, it could honestly be your network of people, guys. It could just be a very uninspired network of people. The people that I feel have been the neediest, they might need the most weight loss and they need the most help, and they're so needy and they're complaining about how everything tastes. I just know they really don't have that mindset to even do the program. So just be careful where you spend your time, because a trap is wanting it more for somebody because you care so much and you want it for them. And I've had people like, I cried because they went so far and they gave up. But it's past my level of expertise. I'm not a psychiatrist to talk them through their mental anguish. We can offer them the body, healthy body, mind, and the ice body and all this support. At the end of the day, guys, most people that don't have vision and have this type of thinking that they want more out of life and that they just want to create this freedom, there's not many people like that. So maybe just find where you can meet new people if you're finding that's not your network. So that will be my last bit of advice. Yes, you cannot drag them, because when you drag people, what does it do to you? It slows you down. You want people that you link arms with. Some of them you can walk with. Some of you can jog, and some of them are going to sprint with you. But if they're not moving at all, then you're dragging them and slowing yourself down. And guys, this is 6 years for me. I know I've done it. I wanted it, especially in the beginning when you just like are holding on to these few people that might do it with you. And it's just, they have to want it. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this call. I just posted in the group. I'm sorry, I had to mute. I just posted in our group, the Live2BFree coaching page. the link for Sean. He's going to get on in 5 minutes. So I'll let you guys go. Don't feel pressured that you have to get on his call. I love him. He's so sweet, guys. He is in our upline. He's in the top 50. You know, he's a great guy. He's a family man. Him and his wife are such entrepreneurs, and they have such big hearts, and they truly care about people. So, you know, I would love for you just to kind of see some of the people that are in our upline that are available to you guys. Okay. Oh yes, Shayla, that was funny. All right. I'm going to stop the recording.